Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to jump into some Monster Train here today. That's why there's no game in the background right now. I don't even have it set up to properly show in the background while I'm doing this intro, but it's waiting for us. We're going to hop over to Monster Train. It's a combination. If you know Slay the Spire, that's the easy touchstone point to explain Monster Train. It's a roguelike deck builder in which we, over the course of our run, start from a small deck of cards, acquire new cards that do new things, and we try and beat the final level and upgrade our personal level by one. That's kind of our basic goal for the day. But it also, and so Slay the Spire is also a game like that. This game I don't think would exist without Slay the Spire, but it's innovated on it in a lot of ways, primarily, and I'll hop over there now, primarily with the, there's kind of a tower defense aspect to it as well. So let's hop over and take a look at Monster Train. We're going to do a standard run here. Start a new run. And you can pick from among the 5 clans to be your primary, and then the 5 clans to be your secondary, or you can randomize both. We're gonna randomize both unless somebody in chat really wants to try a specific combo. Poseidon, who is Covenant 23, says primary melting, secondary awakened is pretty good. That's what I do, Hat. Hat says, I'm currently in love with doing cute stuff with the 100 damage spell and then not beating Seraph. Like, that's, I keep losing in the final, you know, the final one. Anyway, let's just do rando. Let's do it. Let's let him pick for us. No biggie. So they seed us with some random starting cards. The gold border means that I have one in Covenant, or is it? Yeah, like I have one in Covenant with this card. No gold border means I haven't beaten the game in this mode with this card yet. Well, and I hate these. Maybe you more experienced players can let me know how to win by ascending units. I mean, these cards are just hard to work with. For one thing, they're terrible with bosses. Really? You like? Well, Tim knows. Help me use it then, because what drives me crazy in this game are cards that are only good against minions, and then when the bosses show up, they're like useless. Like, Hidden Passage seems useless against bosses. Anyway, we'll get to that. So let's start by taking a look at our deck. By getting the Hornbreaker Prince here, we know that we are the red. You know, this tribe is very aggro, so this tends to be a pretty aggro color. And then the Umbra, the Assault, this Slay, add 2 uncommon or rare morsel units. We'll see what morsel units are, but that means that's our other side of things. So we're going to start with these default cards. Basically, we want to upgrade everything in this deck. We have these 4 Train Stewards that we want to get rid of eventually. We have these 4 Torches that we want to either upgrade or get rid of. And we have these 4 Morsel Making units that we want to upgrade or get rid of eventually. Then we have the units that the kind of the random stuff they stuck us with in addition. I like these Assaults a lot. And the Battering Ram cares about armor. It's another weird one. Like, you need to be all in on armor. I don't know. This feels like I'm not liking it so far. Timnos is going to show me how to use Hidden Passage, apparently, but not loving the 3 mana Armor Matters spell, I got to tell you. But also, at my level, they start you with a dead weight. There's a bunch of penalties that we incur by being Covenant rank 10. So you can see that our enemies are stronger. There's a dead weight. Major battles have more enemies. Minor bosses have increased power. Anyway, all this stuff keeps adding on to make this more challenging for us. And we're going to jump. First, we get to see what artifact we get. So Rage does not decay on friendly units. Rage is a thing where if your unit has Rage 1, their power goes up by 2 for the turn, and then at the end of the turn, their power drops down. So the idea of Rage is that you want to keep piling it on so your creatures stay mad. And Rage is a core mechanic of this Hornbreaker Prince deck. So Raging up our creatures could be a thing. The other thing we got is whenever a card with Consume is played, deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit. So Consume says, basically a card with Consume you get to play once per battle. You play it, then it gets exiled. So imagine a card with Consume basically exiles itself after you cast it. And this is I think this is more powerful. I like, yeah, this breaks the drawback on Rage. But Timnos, what do you think? What are our local Poseidon and Timnos, our Monster Train experts, thinking here? I was going Trader's Quill. But Timnos wants the Rage. Yeah, keeping the Rage stuff is real good. And I'm a big fan of Rage on... because there's also kind of a double strike mechanic in this game that is also good with this tribe. So there's a lot of double strike in this tribe, and double strike and Rage are great in the format, so we can do that. And yeah, it looks like... Oh, actually, that's true. So Seraph's our final boss ability is that when that everything we have, our first spell is consumed. So Trader's Quill is good against the final boss. That being said, I'm gonna take the Rage. Let's lean into the Rage. And to that front, so the way this works is our boring vanilla 6/6 starting dude. We get to come in here and choose how to augment our starting dude. And in this case, since we chose the Rage, I like multi-strike. That's what I was talking about, double strike, right? So multi-strike works because it doubles the impact of your Rage. In fact, if you can get another multi-strike, you can multi-strike 2 would triple the value of your Rage, that thing. So let's go ahead and take the one that works best with the power-up we chose. So now the idea is we're going in towards the middle of hell, into the circles of hell, right? I guess. Anyway, we're at the outer ring, working our way inward here. One of the things you can do is turn on a challenge for most levels that gives you an extra reward if you can complete it. I generally do it, but you do have to be careful and make sure your deck is well positioned to manage it. In this case, we do have a lot of individual burn spells, like deal 2 damage and whatnot. So we should be able to pick off the early stuff, and it's also the first level of the game, so it should be easy enough to do the trial. I like to challenge early because it provides you early resources to get your stuff up quicker, and you know, if it doesn't work out and tanks my run, I can start a new run. All right. So I'm trying to figure out how much I should explain here, but basically, I guess I should treat you like none of you have played this game, or at least give some people an intro thing. So this is our train car. There's 3 levels to it. Normally, stuff comes in on the bottom level and then moves upwards, but we have chosen this challenge that all levels start with something on it. Each creature has a power and a toughness, and so I got this wrong the last time when we first did Monster Train content on this channel, but I understand it now. So basically, enemy creatures do their damage first from left to right in order. So like if we put Hornbreaker Prince out here at 6 toughness, what's going to happen is this one does 5 to it, this one does 5 to it and kills it, and then it's dead before it even gets to deal damage back. So effectively, you can think of it in Magic terms as opponents' creatures have first strike. Like, that's just what you have to deal with. Oppo has first strike, and you take that into account as you are thinking about how you protect yourself. And then, but yeah, armor 10 is something else. But between the torch and the ability to do other stuff, we actually can do this. One thing I'm worried about, one of the penalties of our level, that 10th level penalty, friendly units on the top floor enter with dazed. That basically means summoning sick, right? So normally your stuff gets to attack right away. If we play it on this floor or this floor, they get to attack right away. We're in a spot where this dude won't get to attack right away, but we have the tools to protect him from this stuff. and it's got armor, which we'll talk about too. So I am going to play it here. He's not going to be able to attack this turn, but that's why it's important to do it. So get him ready to be attacking next turn. And then we're going to kill one dude with this torch. Deader. And right now you can see that if this plays out, this dude's going to take 10 damage. He does have armor. Armor 10. This unit can take 10 damage before losing health. Each point of armor blocks 1 point of damage and is then removed. So you sit here, sitting here with armor, and it can take some lumps, but we can also just do a couple things here. First, we get to deal 3 damage to one of these, and you can see that if you let this go, it's going to kill it. And it has this ability, Slay. So by killing something with this card, we're going to be able to add 2 uncommon or rare morsel units to your hand. Let's see what those are. Morsel units. Morsel units, if they are around at the end of combat, are eaten by the front non-morsel unit on your floor. So, they also can, they're like meat shields too. If we don't want our cool, awesome dude to even take this 5 from this one, we can, but I'm going to first see what our final one is. We have 3 morsels here. This is, the damage shield morsel is great. So we're going to take our worst morsel, which I think for this dude is probably the +4. Make that our meat shield. So this is going to die to the first opponent, but then the other 2 we're going to put back here. They're going to be dazed too, but our Hornbreaker Prince is going to eat these morsels and get buffed up on them. So, and then these guys aren't going to do anything, and they'll come up and visit us here on the top floor. So, taking a little time to explain everything here, but I want people to understand what's going on. So now, because the Hornbreaker Prince ate a morsel with damage shield, it's got a damage shield, so it's going to get the first damage source nullified. Yeah, we start with 5 unit spaces, and the yellow dots show how much room they take. So Hornbreaker Prince takes 2 of the 5. These train stewards take 2 of the 5. And this collector shows up basically once a level. Then if you can kill the collector, you get an extra 50 gold. It basically says if we're willing to divert some of our resources over to killing the collector, we can get an extra 50. But that's a good idea. We can ascend the collector, and says Timnos. Yes, Hidden Passage lets you get around that stuff. I get that Hidden Passage is tricky. To me, like, Hidden Passage is this narrow card that does some powerful stuff, but it's really my problem with it is how it is pretty useless against bosses. I just hate cards that are useless against bosses. But yeah, I'll do what Timno said. We'll ascend this, and then our pyre will kill the collector, get us 50 gold. We can kill 1 more of these. And I'm going to put a train steward to help protect our top dog on the top floor. He gets killed by this stuff, but mainly our top guy doesn't take any damage. Yeah, mainly you want to use your mana every turn. You often end up with cards left over. So here's this battering ram where I can actually do the 40 damage thing. I don't love this spell, but in this case it's going to be fine. We do 40 to the front dude and use up all our mana and kill both things here. That's fine. But as you can see, hopefully you're seeing that, like, all the opponent's stuff will deal damage first, so you're kind of planning to what you do after all the opponent's, all the AI stuff has done their thing. Here I'm gonna burn out the guy that does damage as opposed to the healer. I don't know. Let's do that. And trying to figure out what we want to do here. You want to look at the boss wave? Lift the sniper. You want to lift the sniper from here up to here? Yeah. Yes, sorry, Haj, we haven't done that yet, but we can hop from floor to floor here and play what we want to on each floor. So I'll go with Timnos' suggestion to ascend the sniper here. This splits up that pair so we can pick off the sniper when it rises up. And we still have mana left. Let's go. Let's give something for our big dude to eat. Your pyre just ends up taking damage for the most part, especially in these high covenant ranks. You just take a little pyre damage, just the way it goes. This dude's ability is to give us pyre damage that we have to deal with. Morsel buffs are just within this one game, yes. Everything resets in your deck to its default state at the end of a game, unless it says permanently. There are some cards that adjust themselves permanently, but they say so. I'm going to pay for this purge. Playing a little bit quickly, which probably means I'll end up making some suboptimal plays, but I want to show you the basic action. We'll keep giving this dude stuff to eat. And with 1 mana left, yeah, we'll even give 1 more piece of food for our main dude. Purge says once per round. So purge is like exile this after using it once. Oh, sorry, it's removed permanently. Yeah. Sorry, it stays in your deck and removes it forever. Consume is exile for this this round, and purge is removed from the game, literally. So now we see that if we just let things go, we successfully kill this thing. The main thing to do here is just get rid of this pyre damage before we do. Now, whenever you see the X and you've got no damage in your hand, you can just end it and it'll be fine. So we got our extra 75 coins out of that. Armor 5. I tend to be drawn to the cards I haven't won with yet because the UI works. You know, it makes me want to win with stuff I haven't won with yet. But let's see. Gold card equity. Yeah, rage is where we're at. We want to take the rage because we have a rage, keep the rage power here. So let's just stick with that. See what other more rage we can find. I like a mind collapse. Damage shield is good. I have a hard time using these. So Ember Drain. Ember Drain is a drawback that basically says you don't get mana the next turn. And that's a harsh drawback, but you can put it on morsels that get eaten. But I think I like the Mind Collapse enough. I'll show you why. I'm going to take a Mind Collapse. No, Lifesteal goes to the creature that has it, and it heals themselves. All right, this is the fun part. This is one of the things I like most about this this iteration of this Slay the Spire style game. So we get to choose which side we go on. Merchant of Magic lets us augment our spells. Merchant of Steel lets us augment our creatures, and then we can get a new creature of the Umber clan or the Hellhorned clan. This is where I want to look and see what is the thing we want to upgrade the most. And really what I want to upgrade is my spells. I'm really keen on getting this X spell to have some base damage, for example. So a lot of spells we want to upgrade here. So I'm going to start on the spell side of town, but we'll see what our banner is. Well, actually, let's look at what our spell upgrades are first, and then we'll choose our creature. So when you come into this upgrade location, you get 2 inexpensive ones and 1 expensive one. The expensive one tends to be the best. Tends to. This one removes Consume, so you can play it again and again, but we don't even have anything with Consume yet, so this is a terrible one. Really quite a blank, unfortunately. But we did get the one I was looking for the card I want. So we take a plus 10 magic power, and if we put that on Mind Collapse, what I love about getting plus 10 power on a Mind Collapse, or any of these ones that have Slay add mana, is that you can tap out, use all of your mana, still cast this for 0, still deal 10 to something, still kill it, and then give yourself 2 more mana. So I love getting these X spells to have some base damage so that they do something at 0. In this game, when your X spells are at 0, when your X spells still do damage at 0, it's very powerful. And of course, making something cheap is fine. I tend to want to make like this being cheap is good, but let's just lower the cost of our super expensive card. Discount Passage is another way to go there. I tend to gravitate towards the super expensive stuff, although you can get cards that reduce that stuff to 0, so you somewhat, but it's too bad that, like, you know, got no use for our sweet 100 gold option. Yeah, each card has 2 upgrade slots as a default. There is a artifact that allows you to do 3. Another thing we can do is re-roll. If we re-roll, we spend 50 and we'll get a different 100. Or we can use a purge ability and like get rid of something. I hate these train stewards. You want these train stewards just clog up your deck pretty quickly as you get creatures. So we can do that too. Timnos and yeah, Timnos would re-roll. No, we can leave and check our unit. Yeah, let's go see what we get from our Hellhorned Banner first. Interesting. We've got a Steelworker. Resolve says after combat, do this thing. So every combat, this Steelworker gets an extra 5 toughness. And then we got this crazy beastie. 100 power, 40 toughness, but cost 10. Cost 10. And currently 1 imp. We could get this on spec and try to get there eventually. I don't know, Timnos. Well, Timno says don't build towards this. This is fun though. Oh, there's an artifact in this game that says at the start of a round, put 4 random creatures from your deck in the center slot. So I like this for that one. Yeah, this is going to be too hard to do anything with. Also, we kind of have this armor thing going. We do have a 4x armor, and and we have armor on this dude. So fine, let's armor it up, and then go back here and re-roll for Timnos' suggestion. This time we get a double stack. What does that get us? No, 2 whiffs. 2 whiffs. Now, if we had gotten our other consume one, we could have used it with this. I love, however, so a lot of times you're trying to purge your weaker cards from the deck, right? So we would pay 50 to like purge a Steelworker or purge one of these starting cards that's not very powerful. But really, my favorite thing to use with the plus 20 and consume is on these shocks, because we take this 2 damage that doesn't do all that much. Boom, we turn it into 22 that does, but then it also goes away. So because even 22 damage is not that great against bosses, so I like consuming stuff early to get rid of the minions and then getting them out of the deck for the bosses where they're not that powerful anyway. Upgrading, I'll go with Timnos' Ascend a Unit suggestion this time, and then we'll leave. I could have purged something, but I do want to hold our mana for upcoming, or hold our money for upcoming purchases. Yeah, deck thinning is quite real because when your deck runs out, you don't lose, you shuffle and redraw. It's a real strategy to try to get to the point where every turn you're running the same X cards or whatever, you know? Do we want this? Extra power is tough, because remember, your opponent's creatures effectively have first strike, so giving all of your opponent's creatures an extra 4 points of first strike power is really rough. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of targeted removal. So hopefully we can make the 4 power matter less through removal. And you do have to do that. You really need to look at what the trial is doing and ask yourself if it's a good matchup for your deck. This is a matchup dependent thing at these levels. When you're at Covenant rank 10 and the game is super, super hard, you have to really be careful about which ones of these you accept. But I think this is a good matchup for our deck. And just so, you know, they're a lot more powerful, but we can torch this sniper. And then I like Steelworker on floor 2. Yeah, 2 damage is not a lot. There are some creatures, there are a lot of minions that have low toughness, so they're not useless. But they are very, very weak in the later stages of this game. And with 1 left to go, we'll go ahead and put a steward up in front of our boss man. And here we have some direct damage again. I'm going to use it on the healer this time. I'm going to... Doesn't really matter which floor we cast these on. Oh, no, it does matter. That was just a mistake. I just gave this... I didn't see this opponent creature ability of Incant, so I just did this randomly on this floor and actually gave our opponent's creature a buff. You don't want to do that. Sorry. We'll do this up here where it's safe. Now we're at 0, but this is a cool part. See, we get to go, this is what I was talking about with the mine collapse. I love having a base addition of damage, so we get damage at 0. Then we can do this trick. Boom. 2 mana we don't even need. We'll go back up to the top floor where it's safe to cast this spell. And then drop these minions everywhere. I think I'll throw 1 meat shield in front of this. We'll give a damage shield up top. I like that. And we'll give us some mana for the next turn. Now, I could throw this here, but if I do, it just dies for no value. The only reason to do it is if we didn't want to draw this later. There is a unit, a limit. See this yellow dot on top of the card? This means that the morsel takes up 1 space. And floor capacity starts at 5, and there are ways to increase it, but it starts at 5. And there's a 7 unit maximum. Sorry, maybe that's what you meant, Oompax. 7 units maximum to a maximum of your floor capacity. Snacks attack, but they don't attack until after the other creatures are done attacking. So this would just die, and then and I'll save it for drawing later. Gonna go ahead and pick this one off. This is where, let's see, ascending up to here is not good enough. It actually lets him get some damage in. How do we want to do this? We could be cute and do, how about this? Say this is cute. Although if I ascend this, it will be dazed, right? How does that work? Enter. Does this count as entering the top floor? I guess it does. Yeah, Timnos is saying ascend the steelworker, but it would be dazed, so I don't know if that's good enough. Doesn't actually do anything about this, which is what we're trying to do, so forget that. Let's just make our top floor a little bigger. A little more buffed. Throw this down here, throw this in front here. Can do this trick. Here's what Timnos was talking about. We can play this trains. So note that we cannot put this train steward on this floor. There's no place for it. But we can put the train steward here and then move it up. And it finds a way to sneak in and then shows you this, that it's got, that this floor is overfull is what that means. And we even have 1 left over to at least throw a little extra damage here. So what's going to happen here, since we don't successfully kill it, this is going to ascend to the top floor, deal 10 to our pyre, and then the pyre deals 20 back and kills it. trouble is ascending anything to the 3rd floor, it would be summoning sick and wouldn't actually help kill this thing, so it didn't feel like it mattered to me, Haj, but maybe I'm not following perfectly. Final wave, we've got our ascend, we've got 3 damage, let's see, 3 mana to spend. This guy's dying anyway, nothing, so we don't actually need to cast the battering ram, because it doesn't do anything down here, and this guy's up here is dead anyway. The pyre health is permanent, so as you lose pyre health, it's permanent, yep. Lift the Steelworker, says Timnos. But this is going to die anyway. I mean, I guess we keep the Train Steward around is what Timnos is saying. We have extras anyway. We get to go... Yes, there are things that upgrade your pyre. You can't do it with cards, like, well, not with creatures. Like, I can't play creatures up here, but there are definitely spells and artifacts that affect pyre. I like lifting the healer and adding this. Where, let's add this here. Doesn't really matter. I've not ever gone all in on pyre stuff. There's not a lot of it. But there's one of the things I like about this game is that there's clearly a lot of cross-card synergies, and there's combos that I have just not even experienced yet, you know? Nothing else to do here. Let's end it. All right. Rage in the Cage. We see we're doing 166. We will throw Lifesteal up here. And a little shock. You can see what I mean. When you get to the bosses, these mean nothing. Deal 2 damage to 190. Like, who cares, right? Another thing you might have noticed is that normally it's they attack, you attack, then do more stuff. When the boss comes, they're relentless, as you see here. Combat in this room continues until all the enemies are defeated. Yeah, that's true. We can do tricks like this. So I'll just do this for funsies. You can shock your own dude to get the Slay ability. Yeah, Haj, that's what it's doing. It's calculating the back and forth until everything's dead. So at this point, I just like putting a lot of meat shields up, and now we can be done. I mean, you see, we have the X. Another ascend a unit if we want to do that. But here we get another Rage Imp, and we have this thing that likes Rage, so we're going to take more Rage Imps. Here's another Ember Drain card that I've managed to win with, but it's tough. Any thoughts on the Ember Drain stuff, Timnos? It's just really harsh to lose your mana for the following turns. Kind of when you go in on a Void Binding, you're just basically saying, I'm not doing anything next turn. Yeah. Attacks go... Here's the attack sequencing is all AI creatures attack left to right. All of your stuff attacks right to left. And then post attack effects and everything. Yeah, Void Binding on the big dude can be nice. So, should we do Void Binding? You want to show me how to work this? Oh, Poseidon says it can be insane, but it's best when you have a lot of zeros, for sure. Yeah, I like the packed morsels. This is just fine, right? It's got consume. This is one thing that I like to... something I do with packed morsels a lot is use the ability to make it lose consume and cost 1. Then I use the thing that makes it cost 1 less. So basically, with 2 upgrades, you can turn this into a non-consume packed morsels. I'll do it. Then here, we got a morsel master. I like the morsel master, especially with the added morsel making. Gorge is triggers on eating those units. Rage 4 is what we're doing. Like, we don't lose rage and slay. This is interesting. All 3 of these would be fine in our deck. You don't like the rage in the rage collection of tales deck? But we do have a lot of morsel making. One thing to consider when you're choosing which creature to take in Monster Train is what you need. Like, basically, by the end of your run, you should have an idea of the combinations of creatures you want on a floor. And so generally, you want a tank up front and a damage per second, a DPS dude behind, right? That's the ideal setup. And right now we have this. This is a damage per second guy, and we don't really have a. We've got 1 tank. We got 1 tank and 1 DPS, and then a bunch of stuff we want to replace or a bunch of augmenters. But I think we want another tank. So I'm going to take this, which I consider a tank because I want to put it up front. So I'm going to take a tank. You just want to know what you're trying to do with your setup. This Concealed Caverns is like a community chest thing. It's a what's going to happen here. Pyre Remains can restore some Pyre health, which is nice. We've got unit upgrades, or what's behind door number 3, one of these types of things. We get another choice at an artifact. This is like highest upside, or maybe these 2 have huge upside, but can be pretty bad. And you would go the right side. Yeah, I kind of want more units, but I also want to heal our Pyre. So let's take this side, get a little Pyre health, and then take a peek at what the merchant is going to offer before we open our community chest. We got a large stone. I love this card. I love this upgrade. I'll show you what it does. So, like, see how this is a Crucible Collector is 2 wide. You put this on, it gets thicker. It's bigger, but it really upgrades it. It's huge. Large stone is awesome. I love it. But we're not going to use it yet. We're going to go see what the Concealed Caverns have to offer before we decide on this. It's pros and cons. Like, there's sometimes you want to go upgrade a unit because then you come into the Concealed Cavern and get to duplicate it or whatever. But in general, I think you want to go and see what's in the caverns before you do upgrades. And yeah, Morsel Master is an awesome build around. I love it. But I think I like trying the other one in this one. One of the things they do in this is that you have 2 tribes and they offer something from the other 3. So in this case. Consumable card. Oh, it's not the other 3. I guess they did offer us one of the ones we had. Maybe it's random and I just keep getting lucky. Yeah, let's take the Hellhorn. We might get a Rage consumable, which is great for our collection. If you're not sure, I mean, you can use the internet to go and see what all the possibilities of these are, but in this case, we're just going to take a Hellhorn here. So this one says unplayable. But reserve, if it's still in your hand at the end of turn, you restore Pyre health. Sure, we'll do that. There are power-ups that say if this is in your hand at the end of your turn, keep it in your hand. So like we found that, it would be nice. Yeah, permafrost is what Tim Nose and I are talking about. Dog bone indeed. Oh, we still get to take other stuff. This doesn't always happen. I think it's a random chance. Let's take an Umbra consumable too. Yeah, I'll take this. Damage shield is good. Yeah, a random card from among a subset of 3 different clans. Now, who's getting large? Probably just the Steelworker for, like... Although Lifesteal... Yeah. Lifesteal is basically lifelink for yourself, for the creature itself. So, this thing gorging and staying at around 60 seems insane. Yeah, absolutely true. That's what I'm going to do. Plus 10 power. Where do we want that? Maybe just on... We'll split it around a little bit and give the Steelworker some extra oomph. The secondary clan gave us another card. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, start of the run... Oh, okay, start of the run. Secondary clan defines what spells are going to be in your deck and what stuff you might end up having access to. Upgrade here. And sure. I'm going to go ahead and put this here, and then like a 35-85 gorging lifesteal is pretty darn good. And I'm tempted, you know, I'm going to actually purge one of these train stewards. I really don't like them. Go away. My stewards are gold, though, because there is an artifact that says, basically, your stewards get, like, what is it, double strike and plus an armor 10 or something? Like, there is an artifact that actually makes your train stewards kick ass, and so I have gold because I did win with that situation. All right, we've got our lifelinker crucible dude. I'm going to throw that on the second floor and throw our monster keystone dude up on the top floor for dazed. Then, let's see, do we want to... I think we'll throw their healer off, disrupt their party, so to speak. And then let's give... Actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and give this one... I don't think that... The life steal's not really going to matter next turn, but that's all right. They buffed it? Oh, wow. It was already good enough, but that's nice. There was a big balance update recently that Hat is talking about. So let's throw our... DPS dude a tank and give this tank a chance to unsummoning sick. Here's the pack morsel that we picked up. This is a good one. All the same here, but we're gonna throw some dinner to our crucible collector. And well, actually, let's see what we got here before we make any more decisions. Just going to use this on this, I think, so it doesn't matter too much on that front. I can just do this now, whatever. Do this. And I don't want to play anything down there. These are all the same up here. If we play morsels down here, they just die, so I'm not going to bother. This boss makes these little explosives that are annoying as heck. In this case, let's see. Yeah, we can afford it. I'm just going to show you this. So this has this damage shield on it, but we can torch it and then the second spell works. And let's go like this, and then give these dudes some rage. And throw this morsel up here. Looks fine. Regardless of how much, correct, Haj? Like, one-time hexproof. That's gonna die just fine. It would take... It would. This is showing that our shields would go from 5 to 0, so we could save our shields up here. But I'd rather... Let's do this down here. And... I like throwing this stuff here. See, our dude's gonna take some damage, but it's gonna end up healthier than it was before, so it doesn't really matter. So we can come down here and like deal 22 to this instead. Or, yeah, that thing's... Yeah, I guess we just kill this. Might as well save the steelworker damage. And this is as a consume, so I'm going to save it to potentially protect our big stuff against the boss. If we use this now, it's our one time for the fight. I don't want to use it yet. Can you damage shield the pyre? No, can't do that. It's only for creatures. Let's see. Up here we could rage our top line. I kind of like that. We can kill the sniper down here and rage our top line up here. Could even, yeah. I figured it out, Timnos. Timnos is better than me at this game, but I'm happy that I found Timnos' line. So note that this dude has 0 attack, but a bunch of toughness. The nice thing about sending something like this to the pyre level is that they can't damage the pyre. So the pyre just sits there wailing on it till it's dead. So, got there. I hadn't even looked yet, Hat. Come on. I didn't miss it. I just haven't even looked yet. So we're going to move, we're going to ascend this 0 power dude up. Slides in behind the dude that was going to die anyway. Then we'll move up to the pyre level where it will die because it has no... It will die without damaging the pyre because it has no power. One floor, Haj, one floor. If it there are cards that allow you to go multiple floors, but if so, it says so. And then we get to play... We'll throw this train steward in front of our crucible collector and get 5 pyre health. Final wave. Yeah, let's ascend this unit for similar reasons to take it away, get it out from in front of this dude. And we'll go... Looks like we don't get... This is where all the stuff starts to look pretty weak. Yeah, we could torch... Yeah, I like that. No, it's not. Or is it? We can still torch and... Or we could even do this. We just do this. Get a couple morsels. This doesn't matter anyway. All right, look. Dude's dead. Nice. Strong run so far. I still don't love this deck, but armor 25. It's both tempting me with the lack of a gold frame, and it actually works with our battering ram. Like, that turns the battering ram into real. Last stand, though, as Timnos points out, is a rage reward for our rage thing. What do you think? I guess I'm going to use lack of having one with this as a tiebreaker. Let's try to make this gold. Huh, I've not seen this one. Overgorger. Gorge gives it 2 power permanently. We're only at 3rd ring, so this has a long time to grow. So let's go ahead and take the Overgorger since it's early. If this were later in the run, it'd be too late. This is kind of like drawing the Kyrian Dryad on turn 3 or whatever, right? Like, it's long enough to, yeah, 3rd of 9. So we have enough time to grow this. I think we take it. Also, it's not gold yet, so this is a fun one, the Demon Fiend. Note that it is a 50-50, which is huge, but it costs 4, so you can't even cast it out of the gate. You need to augment your mana before you can even cast this. But we're gonna take this. Here, this is fun. Early on, I was all about increasing mana, but as I played the game more and unlocked more stuff, there is uses for all 3 of these. I don't know about you, about our expert players here. I now take Light of Seraph more than anything. This is the #1 thing I pick. This is easily the #2, and I rarely find a spot for Herzl's Compound. I just hardly ever pick this one. I have, though. I have. Timnos, when are you taking this? Because I hardly ever take it. What decks do you want where you like this? But yeah, floor space is huge. Stygian decks with cost reduction. This is one of my favorite little things. You get to duplicate cards. So we go to this side. Whenever I see a Hellvent, I always want to check and ask myself what I duplicate. For example, we have an awfully buff Crucible Collector. However, we just got another tank. Although this isn't really a tank. This is more DPS over time, right? So maybe this is our final DPS, and we duplicate the Crucible Collector. Yeah, it does duplicate the enchantments. The duplicate duplicates the upgrades, which is why generally early I try to move in and double upgrade something so that it can be duplicated. And Hat has got a point. Duplicating the Gorger before it's buffed means you have to do a lot of work to duplicate both of them. We might duplicate this later after we get it big. But Timnos would dupe an alloy. Wait, what's the alloy? What are we talking about? Alloy, this. You would duplicate the alloy of the ancients? It is rare. Pretty good. I'm gonna be greedy and go with my the unit that I have doubled up on. If we do that, that's what I think I'd double the collector. And it's true, but we did just expand our floor space, and we can keep it in mind. But also, I don't want to go to this side. Our Pyre Remains is pretty healthy. I'm going to do it. Let's go this side. So, I'm going to start with a look at what the banner options are. Rage is good for us. We have the Rage thing, so we'll take the Rage Brute. Although we're now getting... Now maybe I don't, because this would be another tank. So... We're going to take the Brute and rethink the duplication, because now I have a tank for each floor. Right? I think we no longer do that. Let's also get rid of more train stewards. Speaking of floor space, we just don't need these now. And yeah, we'll go check out our upgrade on. So you upgrade your cornerstone character twice in the event as well. Given the rage, let's go ahead and give it another multi-strike. And now, what do we double? I was going to double the thing we had invested, you know, upgrades into. You like Brawler? Yeah, I can't. My philosophy of games like this, where you need to do broken stuff by the end to win, is to go for the multipliers. So, to me, multi-strike is multiplying, and multiplying is such a force power in these types of games. Anyway, so what are we doing? So, we could also get something like more packed morsels, or... But I'll double... I'm going to go with what Timno suggested and double the rare armor card. See what happens there. I was going to double our dude, but we got another tank, so I think we're good on creatures. At least tanks. We might want another DPS or two, but we got some tanks now. So, non-boss enemy units enter with spikes 4. So spikes say when you attack them, you get hit back for the spike damage. So as we attack our opponent's creatures, they're going to hit our creatures for an additional 4. So we should look and see how our matchup is for that. Hornbreaker Prince does not like that, but does have armor 15. Obviously, the imps are going to die right away, but actually, our creatures, by and large, are pretty tough. Pretty tough. So I think we can do this one. I'm going to risk it. Spikes 4 is real, but we do have high toughness and some lifelink, you know, some life steals. So let's try it. Yeah, we gotta protect our prince, and but we have the card we just duplicated, the armor stuff. We really want to put the armor on our prince. Yeah, the morsels, but the morsels, yeah, the morsels that attack tend to die. But you know, we're trying it. Like, we're just trying to get some extra juice. But you got to check. There's some are better than others depending on the matchup. In this case, I'm gonna put my prince back on the top level again. You go up there and get dazed. Brute is our tank. 2 tanks here. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, with 3 mana, we are going to play all our creatures. So I'm going to put this here. Yeah, we can just use these to kill the guy in the back. I like that. Gives us some gorging capabilities right off the bat. Ooh, damage shield I like up here on our friend up there, and then we'll put one of these down here. Monster Train Monday. Well, I love this game. Maybe we can set up a once a week time we play it. And not instead of, but in addition to. So let's see. We go, this is our damage dude we're trying to get going and start gorging. So let's play that. Play this. And oh, sorry, I miscounted my mana. I thought I had one more. I was going to torch us for some money, but I miscounted. I'd like to prevent our prince from taking any damage here, so let's see about Well, he's going to take spike damage, but we'll... Oh, I guess that's what's going on. Yeah, the spike damage makes it so that that's not going to... Oh, although by raging, we probably make it a one-hit kill and only take 4. Yeah, so by raging up my dude, by doing 12, per hit, it's going to take... He's going to take less. You can do it in 2 swings now. This was going to be our tank for our thing here. Oh, I didn't look at that well, did I? We'll throw this down as a blocker. Just meat shield there. Yeah, definitely. It's actually a positive. It's like it's not less a dead weight and more a 0 mana heal 5 spell. I gotta get rid of these if you can, but we'll think it out here. Armor is what I wanted on our prince, so let's do that. Let's save our pyre for some damage, and let's kill this thing. There we go. I'm playing pretty quick. There's no doubt I'm gonna make some sloppy moves here, which Timnos can call me on, but want to keep up the pace too. So let's see. I'm gonna throw... No, bring your backseating in full effect. I'm still figuring this stuff out, even at, Covenant 10. I do like more armor up here. How much do we have, though? If I spend this, we're taking pyre damage. So basically... Yeah, I'm not going to take any pyre damage. I'm going to spend to avoid that. We could have the pyre take 1 damage and send that upwards. The Weight of Contrition is created by this Absolver. So, at the end of the combat, it puts a Weight of Contrition on our deck. It puts a negative card into our deck. So, like, killing this dude would be nice. And there's 2 of them, which is why we keep getting 2. We could ascend this, and it would take 1 damage. And then this would take less. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. We'll send this up. It'll hit our pyre. Oh, but our pyre hits it and takes 5. That's 5 damage. I was thinking it was 1, which is okay. 5 is a little worse. Maybe I shouldn't have done 5. And then we can go... Let's give this some eating down here now, and this some eating down here. Looks like the male's here. I want to prevent this damage. Let's ascend one of these units. And we'll go and maybe torch this one. I don't know. I'm playing pretty quick here, trying to keep it going. I'm just throwing... Let's see, we want to do 10 on this. That should keep this... Trying to keep this dude alive. Yeah, well, we're not about to lose. Our pyre has some decent health, but I do want to try and work up here to keep our prince alive. So there we go. Prince is alive now. Just throw some meat shields in front. Maybe I shouldn't have used my this morsel. Whatever. Again, I'm kind of throwing quickly, playing quickly, but let's. This is gonna die too, so maybe we can save it. This is gonna die, but it has to. Start with 350 on our boss. That's all right. All right. Let's see. For here, I like... let's go... Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it. We got to figure out some way to I wish this kid come next turn, because actually, and we might. We're at 0 cards, so we might redraw this one, but like damage shield on the prince will be nice facing off against the master, but we might end our run here. We'll see. I'm gonna go. Certainly we need to save our prince any way possible. So we got to put a damage shield on him. Do we need to do it for 3? I think we do it. Well, we'll do it here. Draw pile. It's got nothing. This is what we're drawing from. All right, here we go. Hey, not bad, not bad. Oh, wait, we lost our armor. Never mind. I was thinking this was our big armor dude, but this is why I don't like this card. Like, it's just, in Magic terms, like, the floor on this is blank, right? And I hate cards that have a floor of blank. I think we're probably dead here. It's gonna be awfully tough. But I think we need to go morsel unit to get some meat shield. And yeah, this just doesn't do anything. 0, it does nothing. I think that's it. This is why it's hard. You just, yeah, you play okay, you do okay. I was a little inefficient, but I don't think anything that was going to change this outcome. Sorry, Pyre. Sorry, Hell's minions. I failed you. Probably, Razor. Probably. Looks like Thorns were too greedy. In my head, we had enough. We had enough healing going on with that one creature, but probably we could win that if I didn't choose the Thorns. Yeah, maybe I got greedy. This is certainly a game that makes you very, very greedy with those tempting rewards. Just make it a little bit harder and we'll give you this nice reward. Just a little bit harder. Ah, well. Well, they really killed our prince. If we had... I feel like if we had not done the thorns, like every time the prince attacked, we took 4 points of damage on our prince, and we had the armor to make it to the end game there. Like, we had enough armor so that he survived, but then he didn't have the armor to beat the boss. And any of the morsels that have attack, a lot of the morsels have 0 power, so those are okay because they don't get hit with the spikes. But every morsel we had that had power would then attack and get hit by the spikes and die. So all of the consuming was not happening. I think it was too much. I should have listened to Timnos, recognized that the morsels got too weak in the face of spikes and not done that. But at least you see the risk reward that goes on there and kind of the calculation of it. Yeah, it's easy to be greedy. You just, well, and all, again, much like Magic, it's not necessarily just greed. It is a risk reward of like, it will really help me win this run if I can augment my creatures now, but I can only augment my creatures now if I take the risk, right? Yeah, they have to attack. 4 damage is enough to kill them. They die, and then they don't get consumed. Yeah, another run. We can do a new run. We can just put them in the run. Yeah. So I think without spikes, we would have won that and advanced, but I got greedy, and so it ends. We're going to say quit to desktop. I'm going to hop back to Soapbox. And thank you so much for hanging with me for Solo Monster Train. Hopefully there's some interest in this on YouTube. If you're a YouTube Monster Train friend, thanks for watching. Let me know you're interested in this content. Give it a like, give it a comment, whatever. Aj here wants me to play this once a week, but I'm not going to do that unless there's a good reason for me to do so, and YouTube interest would be one. So if you're interested on YouTube, be sure to let me know. And thank you so much for hanging out. And check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, for all your magic needs. Bye, YouTube. Thank you for that sub, too. A nice way to move towards the exit.